Big question, guys. Do you know how to attract your audience? Do you know how to find your audience? Are you actually speaking to them correctly? Do the search engines understand what you've written to connect you with the right kind of people? These are the topics we're going to cover over the next few weeks, and we're going to really look at this in detail. And as we go through the growth framework, which you'll see shortly, you'll start understanding how we can actually isolate it and start building things that really help us connect with the people that we need to connect to in multiple different ways using different skills for digital marketing. So when we attract our audience, there's basically two things we are doing. Outbound, that's when we're pushing our story. We're saying who we are, what we do, how we do, what we do, why we do it. Okay. Then we've got the inbound, the pull. This is we are attracting people, and this is the customer story. We need to talk to their pain points. We need to understand what they need, what they want. We have to understand how we're going to get it to them. What are the logistics? How we're going to deliver it to them. How we're going to actually meet them. How we're going to help them achieve their goals. With digital marketing and the growth framework, basically our story collides with the customer story, and in the center, that's where you get our perfect pitch. So as we go on this journey in digital marketing and we discuss this topic over the next few weeks, you're going to start seeing how we're constantly looking at what's our story, what's the customer story, what's the symbiotic relationship between the two, and how do we find the most efficient ways to essentially connect with the people that we want to talk to sell our products or our services. So the next thing I want to think about is, do you have a modern marketing funnel that drives sales? Just answer yes or no. You can even write this question down. Just write these three down and actually think about them. Is your client base growing or shrinking? Are you nurturing your client base? What's happening in your business? Are you guys battling to get customers every week, every month? Is it hard? So we're going to show you guys ways how we can actually make your business grow and how we can automate things over this period. And it's going to help you guys quite a lot. Are you converting your hard-earned traffic into customers? Is what you're building actually creating sales? Have you got too many pages to manage? Is it a huge website? Are there 50,000 funnels? What are you guys actually doing? Is it efficient or not? The modern buyer's journey's changed. Technology's changed. Have you adapted your marketing strategy to reach your audience? So what we're going to go through over the next few weeks is show you how we build out our systems and actually walk through them in a very efficient way to help you stay adaptable for this change that happens with our people as technology evolves. So where does planning fit into your marketing strategy? Once again, how are you connecting to your audience? Are your customers happy with the service they get? Are they becoming brand advocates? Are they actually creating citations? Are they writing responses? Are they giving us 5 stars for the services that we do? How are we engaging with them? How do we actually help these people move into our ascension ladder? How do we create value? Biggest question ever. Do you want to rip the pants off your competitors? And this is the one I love the most. Okay? How would you like to take the advertising dollars that they've spent and be able to extract what's working for them so that you can look at it and incorporate what they've done to your advantage? Over the next few weeks, we're going to walk you guys through this process and show you how we do this through the different mediums of digital marketing. Okay, so here's the big idea. In order for us to essentially get into any market, we need to have a framework that we work with that's got certain rules, certain structures, and it's a process we can repeat time and time again. When we get our processes right, we go into a production mode and we can start scaling, and the same system comes through over and over again, and as we scale, we get used to how the system works and we can refine it. Okay. This is what the growth framework's all about. It's basically a 24/7 robot salesperson, administration clerk, and a supporter system, which is broken into 3 points, which is online marketing, automation, and essentially your business, your back office. Through this course, we're going to make reference to different parts of the framework where we do certain things. And one thing to know up front is Digital Marketer's Toolbox has been designed with this framework underpinning it to get us the information we need as fast as possible in a structured way that we can utilize it and use it in our business. So from a principle of or a big idea, what is the growth framework? The growth framework is an evergreen cycle that runs around in a perpetual motion. It's broken down into 4 points or 4 quadrants, and it incorporates the idea of our story, our customer story, the growth zones. It looks at cold traffic, warm traffic, and hot traffic. It talks about basically attracting our customers, nurturing our customers, converting these customers into long-term customers, and engaging with them. The whole system is focused around bringing people to the epicenter so we can have a symbiotic relationship that works well for everybody. It's got to work well. Okay, so this is the big underpinning thing. It's a perpetual motion. If we neglect our customers that are hot, they'll become cold. If we work with our customers, we'll warm up to them. Once they get to know us and they trust us, obviously they're going to get hot for us and become brand advocates. It's the same in every single business. So this is what the growth framework's all about. It's about your business and how you can make it into something that's successful that works without you being involved in it. So we're going to cover this next few points in the next few slides, and then I'm going to jump across into the real world scenario for this week, which is basically the start of the market analysis. Okay, so getting started. When we speak about the growth framework, basically what we're looking at is basically 5 steps. Number 1, identify the market. That's when we sort of look at today, methods you can use today to do that. Next, we're going to go through a stage of developing our strategy to meet the market's needs. That's where we build the bones of our digital marketing plan. Number 3, detailed plan to execute the strategy. This is where we're actually going to look and think about what actions are we going to take that's going to get us the desired results that we need from the intelligence we've gathered through Digital Marketer's Toolbox. Rule number 4, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Okay, everyone runs around in a state of paranoia and they're scared to do anything, they're scared they're going to break something. Just go for it, just do it, just build it, get it live. Once we get the feedback from analytics, we can make better decisions. So as we work our way through the framework, we're going to basically look at core ideas of what we can use to build our structure, to build our plan, to get our digital marketing blueprint working, and then we're going to start executing it and getting it live. And number 5, the last point is have a level of paranoia. Always watch your competition. Why? Watch what they're doing. Understand how they're making their money. Define how they pitch their product. Define what makes you different from them, what makes you better than them. And number 3, use what's working for them to their disadvantage and to your advantage. And we're going to show you guys how to do that. Okay, so basically these 3 stages: identify the market, develop your strategy, how you're going to break into it, detail out exactly what you need to do to break into your market, and go for it. Watch what your competitors do, follow the money. That's the big thing. I'm going to say follow the money. When you follow the money, when you keep your eyes on the money, you'll see who's making the money, you'll see how they're doing it, you'll see what they're selling to do it, and you're basically going to look at what their strategies are, and from that you can then calculate what you need to do to get the results. Okay, so we're going to keep things very, very simple. We're not going to, in this course, go into massive theories, a lot of in-depth stuff. We're going to give you top level ideas just to help you start creating a structure in your mind of what are the steps you got to follow. And the very first thing I think about is, when I identify the market, is there a market for this product or service that's being offered? Okay, it's no point trying to sell something if people are not interested in it. Okay, it's got to be profitable, because remember, whatever you sell online, number 1, you need a server. Number 2, if you're not using servers and WordPress, you might need ClickFunnels to sell your front. You're going to have to spend money somewhere along the line to either get your product online, to get it served, to drive traffic to it. There's money spent all the time. So make sure that what you're selling can be sold online. Okay, and there's many ways you can do this. You can sell things through the phone calls. You can sell things through basically guys filling in forms. There's many ways we can do the marketing, but the primary thing with identifying the market is the skeleton. And we're going to look at 8 points shortly to help us think about what we're going to be doing next. Step 2. When we develop the strategy, we need to make sure that it meets the demands of the market. So we have to identify the market for the product, we have to develop the strategy to fulfill the objective, we have to get focused, we have to really think, okay, what is it that I'm selling? And then we have to think about what is the model, how those cogs are going to turn to spit out money at the end. We have to think about the machine. Okay, so when I speak about the framework, think about it in layers. When we execute the plan, it's good to put the plan on paper. We need to document, okay, what exactly are we going to do? Because remember, every plan sounds perfect until you get into the pitch. Okay? Every battle plan sounds perfect on paper until you get into the battlefield. And when you get into the battlefield, that's when you really start playing the game and things move. It's a dynamic environment. Okay? So for that, you have to always be able to have a structure that you can work with that allows you to execute parts of the strategy depending on how the market responds to what you're doing. You start playing the game. You're on the pitch, things start happening. Do you want your A team or do you want to have your D team or E team or your F team to actually execute the plan? So everybody asks about outsourcing and all that kind of stuff. Make sure that the people who execute the work and the plan that you have are competent and can actually do the job properly. If you get that right in the beginning, that's going to help you a lot. Okay, so have a think on that. Lastly, don't be afraid to make mistakes. If you don't try, you're not going to learn. Rather fail and fail fast than be scared to fail and never achieve nothing. Go build a site. Just do it. Get it up. And once you've done it, you realize, oh, it's not that hard. And as you're working and you start getting things live, you'll find out how things work, how they connect, how things respond, and it's going to give you an instinct for how things work online. Okay, so the way we do this is through the analytics and through the tracking that I'm going to show you in this course. It allows us to identify where issues are. It allows us to correct mistakes as soon as we identify them. And the reason why we work this way is we want to constantly refine and make a machine run as efficient as possible. Number two, don't be silly with what you post online, guys. You've got to change the way. You have to think about how social media has changed the way the world thinks. Everyone's got an opinion, everyone knows everything, and everyone's not scared to shout out what they think online. So whatever you post, expect a response. Okay, you need to change the way you think about what you're posting, because there's a few things we have to figure. One, we've got to speak to the audience. Two, we have to write compelling content that essentially speaks to the machines. The machines need to understand the thematic relevance, or they need to understand the content of the story to give us the rankings and the traffic that we need. So as we go through stages, I'm going to try and give you the bare bones of information through this bootcamp to prepare you for the year, to give you the basics of what you need to get started. So I don't want you to be afraid. I'm not going to overwhelm you guys with long lectures about thematic relevance, contextual relevance, backlink profile, schema. We'll deal with each thing as a method, as a simple process, and we'll walk our way through the framework, and we'll just attend to things as we're going along, and Digital Marketer's Toolbox is going to help us basically get there. As I mentioned earlier, have a high level of paranoia, guys. Be paranoid. What's that guy doing? What it does is, when we watch our competitors, and we're always inquisitive about what they're doing, and our Google alerts are watching them, we very quickly can see how they operate online. And Digital Marketer's Toolbox, I'm going to show you two ways of basically using the tool. But when we use it to do market analysis on authorities in the industry, we can extract what works for them and how they're driving their sales and their traffic. We can look at this from a local perspective, and we can compare a business to another business and how their footprint is online. The tool is very flexible, very dynamic, and it helps you achieve things very quickly. But the level of information and the way the information is compiled back to us is very insightful. So, as I said before, always keep your eye on the money. Watch how the money flows through the markets. When you do that, you start seeing patterns, and those patterns are traffic, and we start identifying the traffic. It becomes simpler to actually make a decision on how you're going to plug into that traffic, what is the cost to do it, and what do you need to put in place so that that funnel can start working for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to talk you through the growth map framework. We're going to run through a mind map that I put out for you, and I'm going to basically tell you in a very simple way what it is that we're going to build over the next few weeks. Okay, and this applies to digital marketing agencies, this applies to people building their own websites, this applies to local SEO. The framework that I'm going to show you now can apply to any business, and it's built an infrastructure that can scale. Okay, so you can start really cheap, but as your business grows, this infrastructure can actually scale with you. And we're going to go over that next.